From Saturday, April 18th through Tuesday, April 21st, Upper St. Clair High School's marching band and Pantheon Choir visited Boston, Massachusetts for the music department trip. In the city, students, teachers, and chaperones explored sites such as Fenway Park, the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum, the Freedom Trail, and Harvard University. Mr. Piquel, the band director and music curriculum leader at USCHS, discussed the purpose of traveling to new cities with the music department every year.
What we're looking for is an opportunity to perform. That's what as a music department, that's one of the main things that we try to do, is find as many great opportunities for the kids to perform as possible. And so being able to travel places that are a little bit different, a little bit out of the ordinary, hopefully that have some sort of a cross-curricular type of appeal as well, such as Boston with the history. But then giving those kids the opportunity to go and perform at these interesting places, whether it be in New York City or in Boston, or when we did the Cherry Blossom Parade down in Washington, D.C., or things that you can't necessarily do right here in Pittsburgh. And so that's the main purpose, is that we want to give the kids the opportunity to really get out there and see some different places and perform in some great venues.
In addition to learning through performing, students also gain knowledge from historical sites in the city and from the workshops that students participated in at Harvard University.
We did the walking tour on the Freedom Trail, which I thought was really cool. We walked around Boston, and I have an interest in history, and I thought it was really cool to be able to walk around and see the places where the revolution actually happened, and hearing about it while standing on the streets where the riots broke out. That was just really cool moment for me, where it became more real than it had been when just studying it in the books.
Whenever we visited the JFK Library, I did learn a lot about John F. Kennedy and his presidency and his life. I thought that was I just think he's a really interesting person. And also at the workshop at Harvard, I think that the choirs we learned a lot about how we can critique our singing and how we can better ourselves.
The students had a variety of favorite activities from the trip.
We saw the Blue Man Group perform, and that was awesome. That was the highlight of the trip right there.
Our part was on the last night. We had a party, boat, cruise, dance party, fiesta, and that was my favorite part, because the workshops were really fun and informational, but I really enjoyed spending time with my friends on the cruise and a lot of seniors who this was their last year. And I think that was just a really good part when everyone was together and everyone had just a really nice time.
My favorite part about the trip to Boston was probably seeing the Blue Man Group perform, because it was just the most different performance that I've ever seen in my entire life, and it was just so much fun. There was so much to pay attention to, and I just thought they were really great at performing.
Mrs. McDonough, one of the trip chairs, discussed how she and her co-chairs planned such a successful trip.
Once the department heads choose where the trip is going to be, which city, we put that out to all of the students in both the choir and the band side, the marching band. And then in September, we start making plans. How can we fill these days? How are we going to get there? Bus, plane, whatever. Disney, we flew. This trip, we were taking a bus. How many times will we need to stop on that bus trip given the students? Where will we eat? How will we facilitate that? And then what can we do with roughly 150 students, depending on what we're going to get? What can we do with them? And how many things can we pack into basically a day, as I'm sure you were aware?
It sounds like the music department had a great time in Boston. This has been Kelly Connor for USC Update.